is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and today is Monday, September 30th. I cannot believe tomorrow is October 1st. It seems like the year has flown by, and I can't believe we're already for Florida, we started school August 12th, so we're like a month and a half into school, which is crazy. But I wanted to welcome everyone, those who are returning, welcome back, and those who are new, welcome. I also wanted to say that I am thinking about praying, watching all the things for all of the people who were affected by the hurricane. Some people had reached out to me because I am in Florida, and I live in Oviedo, which is in central Florida, and we just had a little wind and some rain. And we've been having lots of rain in addition to the hurricane, but we didn't have trees, branches. I did have some friends, and they had some trees down, and I mean, there were leaves around, like there had been heavier winds, but nothing crazy. But the coast, West Coast, I have a friend who lost her house. I know many others have had severe damage. And then going up into, they call it the Bend, like up by the Panhandle and Tallahassee, that whole area, and then up into Western North Carolina and Tennessee, and it's just crazy. So I'm sure all of you are aware, but I just want to say I am thinking about you guys, and am looking for ways to try to help. I have helped a fellow Stitchers whose sister had lost her house, and I can't stop thinking about it. So I know what it's like to lose power, but we've never had any severe damage to our house. So just the severe damage to your house or losing your house, it's just so devastating. But I just wanted to mention that at the beginning, and I know other people have mentioned it. And as a stitching community, I know people will rally around others in whatever needs to be done and whatever help needs to be given. So I just wanted to make sure to mention that at the beginning today. So that being said, it was a little bit of a strange week because they were unsure of what was happening with the storm, like I mentioned last week. And so my kids did not have school on Thursday, even though it really wasn't bad here. It was storming when my son was supposed to have baseball, so that was canceled. But they have to cancel school if the winds are above, I believe it's 35 miles an hour, because the buses can't run, so then they have to cancel school. So, but then they went back to school on Friday, and everything was fine. And there were people who live not too far from me who lost power, and so it was just a very strange storm as to what happened and where it affected. So there was a couple days I didn't do any stitching. I did not work on my 6 strands a day on my Noel sampler at all. I started another Christmas piece. It was a weird week. But I do have some finishing to show, and I have some whips, and hopefully it will inspire you. For October, which is tomorrow, October and probably most of November, if not all of November, or at least I'm thinking until Thanksgiving, as long as I'm still have momentum, I am planning to stitch Halloween and fall. And then once Thanksgiving comes, then I'll get into Christmas. There is, along with Noel sampler, which I do want to pick back up on, and I'm going to get to some stitching in just a second. I know you don't want to sit here and watch me talk. But I have another whip that is Christmas that I don't know if I can get it done, but if I could, I would really like to get it done to be hung up this year. So we'll see. But I'm going to keep working on the Noel sampler. I didn't get any of it done today. Or not today, this week. All right, so I do have finishes. I was able to come up and fully finish a couple things. And then when I just came up here to film, I realized I never finished the tomato hill. I have it. It even has the interfacing on the back, but I forgot to fully finish it. So this one was Witch's Night Out. It's by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. So I finished it into a pillow, and I bought all of the Fat Quarter bundles of the Tilda Creating Memories line. So there's the winter, summer, fall, and spring. So this is from the autumn or fall bundle. But I just finished it into a simple pillow, and then I used one of those black straight pins that I had gotten, and this is some twill tape from Color and Cotton that I had gotten. So I finished that. And then this is a previous finish, but I had put it out, so I thought I'd bring it up. This is Be Ye Thankful by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread again. And this is on, I want to say this is 32 count. Yeah, because it's 2 strands, which is funny because I stitched the rest of these on 36 count, so they're like different sizes. And this is the fabric. This was some fabric from Hobby Lobby, I think, and then I just have some rickrack, but I love this piece. So I have that out. And then this was a refinish. This I showed, actually, I don't know if I showed, I might have just texted my friends that I had pulled this apart. This is from Hands On Design, Kathy Haberman, and it was a 2-part. I didn't do the other part, which is like a little pillow, and I want to say it's called Pumpkin Pie or something like that. I forget. But this was finished like on a pumpkin, and I had originally put it on a pumpkin, but I have been going through some of my hard, like flat finishes, and taking them apart and making pillows, because I have, like, how I have my decorations set up is different than it used to be. And I have a bowl that I want to be filling with pillows and some other areas that it's easier for me to stick a pillow in than stick a big finish in. So I took this apart. It had glue. I took the glue off and finished it, and use the same Tilda fabric as the Witch's Night Out, and it's just this little pillow, and it's so cute, and it's in a tier tray with some pumpkins. So this was one of my first stitches, and this is 14 count Ada hand dyed, and I want to say it was by Bestitch Me. It was in a kit that came from Fat Quarter Shop, and I took the fabric out and used it for this instead. But this is the called for colors too. And then my last one that I finished, which this one I was anxiously awaiting because I had painted the backer, and it's just been sitting here, is When Pumpkins Glow by With Thy Needle and Thread again. And I'll take it out. So this is called On the Ledge, I believe. It's from Chantel's 141 design, and it has like the scallop at the top. So I painted it, and I have wool felt balls in and these wool felt pumpkins. And I finished this, which is supposed to be finished on Chantel's panorama board flat, which truthfully I could have finished it flat on the back of here because it fits as well, and then put the stuff in front. But I decided to finish it as a pillow, and it took a lot of stuffing to fill. I used some more of the Tilda fabric on the back, which I love. I feel like I glued the rickrack on. Most of the time I stitch it on, but I've recently been using some of the Aleene's tacky glue, and it seems to be working, and it's much quicker. So I did use another one of those black pins and I stuck in the bow, which the rickrack and the bow came with the kit, which I got from Farm Girl Dry Goods. And this took a lot of stuffing. So as you can see, it's fairly large, and I flattened it down and I tried to make sure it was really stuffed. So I'm really excited to have this done, and it's sitting right where I can see it. So I was trying to decide to put the pumpkins in, like set it where the pumpkins are in front or have them down, or I don't know. Well, I'll probably play around with it. But these wool pumpkins and the little wool balls I ordered them from Amazon. So I will write myself a note to link them because they're quite handy. But because you could use them in either this if you have this. She has the smaller one, which is called On the Edge. And I have it. I don't know if I ever finished it or not. But it's to have their smaller pieces from Kathy from Hands On Design. But you also could really, I mean, the things you could put on there are pretty much endless. All right, so that was all of my finishes. Let me get rid of that. Okay, now, what have I been stitching? Like I said, it is quite the eclectic stuff. And honestly, I don't know. I'm just going to show it to you. I don't really know the order that I did this in. So I'll go ahead and share. My first was, I was watching, this was honestly probably the first thing, because I filmed my video on Tuesday, and then my son had a baseball game, so I didn't get any stitching done. And then Wednesday I was able to stitch, and I was watching Fat Quarter Shop because they had their weekly video, and Kimberly was showing, which I already had seen and kind of heard this. She was showing the Hometown Holiday, which I don't know if I have the front cover or not. My printer is, the ink needs to be replaced, so excuse the video. Not the video, the ink. She was showing this, that they had, Kimberly had gone to visit Lori, and both of them had stitched this while she was there. And I love it. I was going to stitch it just how it was on 36 count. And I'm pulling the threads, and I thought, well, this, I mean, Kimberly said it took them like no time at all. I'm sure I could get this completely done. Well, I didn't get done, but I did get a decent amount, and if I pick it up again, I could probably finish it in at least 1, maybe 2 days. So I bought the PDF, and like I said, I was pulling all the called for colors. And not that I don't like them, but I was trying to think, like, where exactly do I want this to go? Do I have these colors in my Christmas decor? Which I really don't have blue. So I thought, you know what? Let me go look in another bag with a Christmas whip and pull out some threads from that bag, and I'll use it for this. I am besides the letters, I am randomly picking which colors I'm using. So here is my progress, and I have it in this hoop because the whole thing fits. That's why it's still in the hoop. This is my progress so far, and these are the colors I'm using. So I will share the colors because I'm going to use them, probably all of them. I just don't know where I'm going to be putting them. So this is 36 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see. But I have Weeks Dye Works Hibiscus is like the lightest pink. Then I have Blue Coat Red, Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler, and that's the color for the letters. And then I have some Belle Soie Silks, Espresso, which is like a brown, Noir, I think that's how you say it. It's like the blackish color. Herb Garden is my light green. Creme de menthe is the darker green. Oatmeal Scone is the white. And then I have Manor Red also. I don't know if I'm going to put Manor Red in here or not, but that was on the ring from the project I took it from, which was actually a piece that Miss Flossie did, Amy, last year, and I had pulled my own colors for hers, but I thought, these are really pretty, and they are like a little softer and more just red and green and pink, which I absolutely love. So, like I said, I probably could spend 1, maybe 2 days, and I could get this done. So I am planning to pull this out soon and try to see what I can get done on this. I'll probably pull it out when I'm like, I need a break from fall and Halloween, but I need something else. So I have this. I also will have, like I said, my Noel sampler. And then I pulled out my floral motif sampler, which I haven't done any more on. But I do really want to get that done by the end of the year. However that's going to happen, I don't know. I don't have a plan exactly, but I'll probably like substitute that in. And this was just a teeny tiny bit. One day I got the fabric in and thought I'll just start it. So I had talked about, I have that little Halloween tree, just the little table topper one, and I wanted to stitch these spooky ornaments. And I'm not going to stitch them all. I'm just going to stitch a couple. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to finish them, whether they're going to be like little square pieces or I'm going to do circles. I don't know. But I got some, instead of stitching the background, which I got this idea from Jody, Simply Stitching Ocala, who got the idea from Allison, Alley Cat on Instagram. I got a piece of 32 count Morganite by Fiber on a Whim, which is like a light pink. And so I'm just stitching them on the light pink. So I don't have to do the light pink circle in the background. And I think that this is going to make it go much quicker. So I just tried it out to see if I liked the colors on it, which I do. You probably can't even see that it's light pink. It's kind of hard to see, but it'll be cute. So I'm just going to pick a couple, like I said, and then I'll figure out how I'm going to finish them. I do have some of the sticky circles that I think they will fit on. So I potentially will just like put fabric on the back of one and then sandwich them together and put rickrack around to hang them up, because I don't really want them to be heavy or bulky because my tree isn't really that big. So we'll see. But those are quick and easy to work on. Then when I don't know what I was looking for, I came across this kit, which I bought last year and I said I was going to do and I never did. But this was a full kit. It's from Shepherd's Bush and it's called Be Frightful. It's so cute. So I did start that. And since it's a kit, it comes with the linen and all of the threads, and you have to put the threads on, like it puts them in bundles, so you have to put them on here, but it's fine. And they're all over dyed. So this is where I got. Which honestly, if I dedicated a couple days to this, I could probably get it done. So my thought process is, which we'll see, I'll report back next week how it goes, is either putting all of these projects that I kind of have pulled out, either that are new starts or whips, like putting them in a decision wheel and spinning the wheel every couple days to decide, or just put them all in a bag and then every however many days picking them out. I don't know. But I am thinking I want to, because in my experimenting with plants, I feel like about 3, maybe 4 days is the most in a row I have the attention to spend on one project. So my thought is pick a project and work on it for 3, maybe 4 days, and then pick up another project and work on it. So I can have some progress. Honestly, some of them I could probably get finished in 3 days. Some of the smalls especially. But some of the bigger ones, it would just be basically getting a start. And then I would, if I wanted to pick them back up, I could. But then I also could put them away and bring them out next year. Which is funny because I was watching some of Lori Holt's old videos this weekend while I was stitching, and she was talking about stitching in the season, and then like whatever she started the previous, like for instance fall or Halloween, whatever she started last year for her fall and Halloween, this year she focuses to finish it, and then she starts new projects which would be finished next year, unless they're smalls and she can get them done quickly. So I kind of liked that idea. I have personally a hard time like thinking about starting it, and not that I finish everything, but thinking about starting it and not with the intention of finishing it until next year, although that's what I end up doing because I just want it all stitched right now and finished and hung up in my house. So I'm trying to kind of wire my own brain to think that way, because I think I can do more than I can, although I do get a lot of stitching done. So that's all what's happening up here. So I did end up starting Real Comfort on the day that the hurricane was coming through, and so it was kind of my hurricane start, but I thought it was appropriate because it says there's nothing like staying home for real comfort. And so we were at home, as many others or other people had to go to shelter, but they were in a safe spot. And so I thought, well, I liked that sentiment. I did end up using the called for fabric Saltbush. I did not get very far, so don't be thinking I got a lot done. But it's a start, and this is definitely not going to get done this year. However, I would like to get some progress on it. And this was a retreat piece from the attic last year, and I was able to purchase it from someone who was selling it. So here's the colors. They're really pretty. But I don't know if she's releasing it or when she's releasing it. I'm sure she will. I'm just not sure when. So that will be working on project. Okay, then last night, I do know this was a little frustrating. It's completely my own fault. I even knew where I needed to go, and I somehow went to the wrong leaf. So I had started this. This was a whip. I pulled it out. This is Bittersweet September by Blackbird Designs, and it's in this book, which is The Winds of Autumn. I was like, oh, maybe I can get this done, which I might still. I just got frustrated, and so I put it away last night because I messed up. But I'm not pulling out everything, so I'm just making it work. Let me show you. So I was trying to get to the house, and I was basing it, the height of the house, off of the wrong leaf. So here's the stitch. Let me see how I can handle. And here's mine. So because I was basing it off of the wrong leaf, now the 2-story house has become a 3-story with extra windows. So it's fine. I think next I'm going to go and put in the alphabet so I can make sure that it's gonna fit, and I am going to figure it's going to fit. And I'm just gonna leave the bird off the top here. And I don't know if that bird's gonna fit either because I based it off of this leaf instead of this bottom one. So it's like over a couple too much. But I was very annoyed last night when I was stitching this. But I want to have it done and in the bowl. But my house is just going to look a little different. And that's okay. And these are the colors. They're so pretty. But I had to put it away because I was getting very frustrated at myself for doing that. But I had gotten so much of it outlined that, I mean, that's all I had spent my time on doing. So I thought, well, I'm not going to rip it out because that's a lot of time I just spent doing that. All right. Then I also was talking to my friend Carol, who is friends with Christy Crosshatch Quilts and Yvette Go, and she said that they were going to, because I had mentioned I wanted to start this. I did find my book, and Christy had said it in her video too, and Carol said they were starting it this weekend, and I said, well, I'm going to start it too. So I started this, which is really fun. And all I did was I got the outline of the border done. But I feel like I'm in a good spot where I can kind of decide where I want to go. So this is I got the whole border stitched. And this is 36 count Duxbury, which Tara Sullivan, who is Sully Stitches, she's who stitched the model, just because she had already, it was a Patreon chart, and then Teresa released it, and so her and her two of her friends had stitched it together, and the story is in the book. It's really sweet, and it's very special, especially now. But oh, my needle. But she had it finished, so that's the model. She used Duxbury as well, which is what I'm using. Mine is very splotchy, which honestly I really like it because it looks very fallish, or whatever you want to call it. So I was excited. I was thinking originally that I was going to, wrong book. I was going to like start in the middle and go down, like do parts of the words to get to the witch. But then as I started doing the border, it's very repetitive, or it has similar numbers in every area. I just thought, I'm just going to get the whole border done and then I can go from there. So I could just kind of start from the bottom. I really want to get to the pumpkin-headed witches. They're so cute. But I love the sentiment, the friendship. Because through this craft, I have made a lot of friends that otherwise I would have never met. There would be no reason our paths would cross. So it's really cool. And it's like all over the United States too. So Carol lives in Florida. She lives 45 minutes from me. If I wasn't doing Flosstube or wasn't on Instagram or cross stitching, I would never even know her. So it's just really cool. But and like I mentioned before, I converted it to color and cotton. So that is here. And let's see, what else did I do? I actually did a lot more than I thought I did. I think there's just one more, and then that's like stuff I want to do. I don't think I actually did any stitching on this, but I did put a poll up on Instagram. I have Grace Doth Abound going, and I also, of course, had The Gather In. So I said, which one do you like? Which one should I? Oh, there was a mistake on this too. I don't normally make a lot of mistakes in my stitching because I count a lot before I do something, but there was a little mishap on this too, but it's not enough to pick out either. But should I focus on The Gather In or Grace Doth Abound? And The Gather In was overwhelmingly what people chose. So this is going to be how this is the focus piece. I'm not sure yet. But I will, of course, come up with some kind of plan. So this is where I am. The part I did do was the horse. So I was trying to, let me find the pattern. I was trying to get the horse done so then I can go to the pumpkins. And then I have the house to fill in. I have this whole gray part I can fill in. And then if I do the pumpkins, I could fill in the background behind the pumpkins. Then I will have the grass to fill in. So I would probably next go down to maybe outlining the grass. So if I don't get this done before Stitch West, which is at the end of October, I will take this with me to be working on filling in. Because I know some people love fill-in, and I don't know if I've said this on here before, but I hate fill-in, to be quite honest. Which is funny because I love to stitch houses which have a lot of fill-in. So somehow I suck it up and do it, but it is definitely not my favorite. However, I absolutely love this piece. I absolutely love the new Harvest Moon by Annie Bees that I'm going to do. It's a big house, but it's just so cute. So let me show you some other things that I have. So I got, this was mail I got. I love all of her animal crackers. I haven't stitched any yet. But I was like on the fence of if I wanted to do this or not. It's so cute. And that was not for question. It was, did I want to stitch it? And I kept seeing this, and I still keep seeing it over and over. I couldn't resist. So I ordered this, and I have all the threads, and I really, really want to stitch this year. And I think what kind of sent me over the edge is I think my kids would really like this. Not to play with, but I think they probably would want to play with it, but I think they would think it's really cute. So I really want to stitch this. And I've seen a lot of people buying it or stitching it. So that's in my bag, which I kind of do different things with my bags. Normally I keep one downstairs. What I'm kind of thinking for like October is I have all my stuff up. This is my bonus room, which is where I have all my cross stitch. So I have this tote bag, and I'm thinking about like keeping things in here, whether I rotate them once a week or whatever. And then that's kind of what I have to pick from when I'm stitching. I had this pattern, but I got the called for linen and threads. I would really like to try to get at least one of these done or started. I don't know if I showed this last week, but I had this kitted already. This was in my stash, and it would not take very long to get done. This is like a 2-3 day type of project. So that's why I'm kind of thinking of using the 2 to 3 day like time frame, because some of the smalls I could potentially get done in that time, and then if I was like sick of stitching a small, I could work on a big piece, or do kind of like one in the morning time or during the day and then one at nighttime. So I don't know. I come up with all these great plans, but I don't necessarily always stick to them, but that's okay. All right. Oh, this is the threads. I bought the DMC. I had this PDF already. I was going through my good notes and PDFs, and I found this, which is so cute. So I bought the DMC for this today. That was kind of I liked that and thought that might be something fun to work on. Tomorrow is October 1st, so I am in Teresa Koget's Patreon, which she will be releasing her Patreon charts. I don't know what they're going to be, but if there is a cute witch, I might stitch that also because I've kind of been in like a Teresa mood. And this, I don't have all I'm waiting for the rest of the threads. And again, excuse my printer. The ink is not really good right now. But this is Blackwater Hollow Sampler. And I saw Jordan from Tattooed Stitcher. She's stitching this. And I think it's really pretty. So I have some 40 count chai by Seraphim, which she's using, I think 36. I ordered some 36 too, but it looked really good on that. And I have the called for threads. So at some point I want to do this. And this is like lots of empty space. So I don't know. Maybe I could get it done. This is like false hopes I give myself. So I feel like we all do this to ourselves. All right, let's see. What else do I... I am also... I talked with Jordan and Bernadette from Jordan from Tattooed Stitcher and Bernadette from Burn Stitches. They were the ones who were starting Ghoultide Welcome by Plum Street. And I thought they were starting it at Stitch West, but they said that's too long to wait. They're going to start it on October 13th. So I'm for sure starting that. Tomorrow I'm starting Harvest Moon and the Annie B stockings, which I already talked about. So that will be fun. And so all of these other pieces, those are all like potential. It's not for sure that I'm going to start them, but I just found them and thought they would be potential good starts. Or I have other whips going that I'll fill in as well. And I showed a lot of stuff last week too. I didn't want to re-show it. Oh, and I'm going to show this, although I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick to it or not. But I thought this was a really good idea. And if I could stick to it, it would be really cool. But I had bought this last year or the year before. Again, ignore the printing. It's really bad. It's called Spooky Countdown, and it's by the Primitive Hair. And it's this calendar. And if you want to see it done, go over to Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, and she'd finished it. And I believe that Jen, who is Sweet Chaos Stitcher, also finished it. But I thought, and I don't know if I could keep up with it. That's why I'm like hesitant to say this. It would be really fun to, and I have it already because it's just DMC, and I found a piece of 36 count Lollybrock from Tabby Cat to each day stitch one square. So like on day 1 or October 1st, stitch the first one, which it's not the only one that's a lot of stitching is the pumpkin head because they're not very big. So here's the threads and here's the fabric. Oops. So we'll see. That's maybe a plan. Like I said, I'm hesitant to say it because I feel like every time I say it, then I don't want to do it. But I thought that would be really cool. And then at the end of October, and so then the top, which says Spooky Countdown, and the bottom part, I might leave, or no, the bottom is the 31st. I might just like do that as I go, and then each day I could stitch another part. it would be a fun thing to have at the end of the month. Whether I could keep up with it, I don't know. But I could at least, I guess, get it going. Because one thing I did, and I will have inserted some photos at the beginning, when I was decorating, I am seriously lacking in the fall and Halloween decor, like stitching decor. I barely have any. So that's also kind of why I thought having more than enough starts, which is, I don't care about the amount of whips or starts or whatever I have, but getting some of the things started or going and finding things I did start and pulling them back out. And then maybe next year I can try to work them in throughout the year to have some more things, but we'll see. It's all great plans. Lots of fun things to look at though, at least. I also need to figure out my table gifts for Stitch West, which it's not till the end of the month, but there is a part of something for a few people that I do want to stitch, so I know I want to get that done. And then there's another thing I might stitch. So if I'm going to do the stitching, I need to start it now, which I haven't started yet, but we'll see. All right, so let me go ahead and show you my haul, and then I do have a couple giveaways. I am waiting also to hear back from a couple people from last week, so we'll get to that. But okay, this is from the Stitchery, and this is, well, actually I ordered it from Willow Cottage Quilt Co., but it's an embroidery kit from the Stitchery. I'm sorry for the noise. This is the one I picked. It said it was easy because I've never done embroidery, but I'm like super intrigued. And these, it's like a whole kit. Oh my goodness. This is what it looks like. It's really, really cute. But I thought this is small and easy. It comes with the printed fabric, all the instructions, and the thread. And so then you need scissors, a hoop, and some needles. So I thought that was cute. It could be like a little thing I could try and see if I liked it, because I do like to try new things. I also am in the Schoolgirl Sewing Club from the Cruel Goblin. And this was our project from GGR. This is the third project. So one cool thing that they do in the box is in the top for the year, they have all the previous projects so far. So this is the first one, this is the second, and then this is now the third, and then the fourth one will be there at the end. So, but these are fun. They're all kitted. Everything is together. You get the threads and the fabric, and it's actually, the pattern looks fallish. So it would be a good thing to be stitching in the fall. So I will save that, but I just thought it's really pretty. And I feel like most people have gotten their box by now if they're in it. So I thought it would be okay to share it. And this, when I ordered the nettle, I ordered these from Treehouse Fiber Arts, Rachel. I wanted to get the snowman. This thing is giant and very heavy. I ordered this from Plum Street Autumn U. I don't know if I already had this, but I have all the other ones, so I thought I better just order it while I was getting stuff from her. And then I ordered, she has some fabric, so I ordered this layer cake from her of Liberty of London fabric. And this is the back, or 10-inch stacker is what they call it. And I thought it would be fun to do a quilt with this. Which also, tomorrow, I'm supposed to be starting my Swoon 16 quilt, which I haven't cut any of the fabric for. So I need to get on that as well. But I might be falling behind. I'm not a good example right now of being on top of things. So that is what I have. Now, I did want to do a couple giveaways. So I have some fall and Halloween, and I have, this was sent by a sweet viewer, and so I am going to give this away today too. I think she had bought extra. First of all, this is the super cute card. She made this, and she sent this chart along to pass along to somebody else. So, and I am doing the Hello Fall right now, but I love this one too. So this is number 1. So in order to enter, you do need to be a subscriber and like this video. And then in your comment below, you can write just the numbers 1, 2, 3, however many I have, whichever number it correlates with. And then just tell me what your plans are for October. And if you don't have any plans and you're just going to stitch whatever, then that's fine too. Just let me know what you're planning to do. So this is number 1. Number 2 is Hallows Manor, and I have an extra copy of this because of course I also ordered some of these. So I have lots of extra charts now. So this is number 2. Number 3 is going to be the Quilted Scarecrow Cross Stitch. This is number 3, which somebody was telling me, or I was watching somebody who was stitching this, and I forget who it was now, and they were showing the colors for this, which are much more muted than this picture. So if you think that the picture is too bright, the colors that in DMC that Lori has, they're a little bit more muted, but it's really pretty. And number 4 is this is the quilt pattern for the Quilted Scarecrow. So this is number 4. And that is the giveaways for today. So again, like I said, how to enter, be a subscriber, all the things. Make sure you don't say giveaway or prize or free or whatever in the comment, because that will attract spammers. And also, just as a reminder, I haven't had any problems, but now I say this, I'm sure there'll be some kind of problem. But I will only ever tell you won by announcing it on the video. I will never write a comment. I will never say click here to win or whatever. I will always announce it on here. So if someone is doing that, that's spam, and you can report them, and I will try to, I try to monitor, because I do go through the comments and read them all. And so if I see something weird, then I'll deal with it. But just as an FYI, because I have heard people talking about that again, and I don't know. I don't know who, I think it's bots or something, but whatever. That's not what we're here for. We're here for the fun and the cross stitch, and this is a hobby that brings so much joy to myself, and I know to other people. In whatever circumstances you're in, I hope that your stitching is bringing you joy and happiness, and you're stitching what you want, and you're starting all the things, or stitching on whips, whatever makes you feel good, because it's a hobby and it's fun. So I didn't write a list this week either of who I've been watching, but there's been lots of good floss tubes out there, lots of videos showing fall stitching, which is great motivation to get that out if that's something you're interested in stitching. So I hope that you guys have a great week. I will see you back next Monday, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.